Hello, I'm the Irish guy. Yes, this is the Premier Catch-Up. Let's take a look at what happened in the Premier League this weekend. Oh, wow. Right, let's go. Man United 0, West Ham 2. Manchester United. This is an absolute disgrace. There's 2 games left of the season, and you're 16th in the league. It's getting dangerously close to impossible for you guys to catch Everton. And they've got the guy in charge who you sacked 10 years ago. Manchester United are just 1 point better off after 36 games than Neil Warnock's Sheffield United team, who got relegated in 2007. After 36 games, you're level on points with what Sunderland had when they were managed by Roy Keane in 2008. You are right now level on points with Alex McLeish's Birmingham City, who were relegated 2 weeks later. You know how lucky you are you're not in a relegation battle? Do you see how utterly revolting this season is? You're letting a limp weasel like Graham Potter dance off into the moonlight with an Old Trafford win, but you know what's the saddest part of all? It's not even shocking that a terrible West Ham got the win here. I predicted this. So did Callum Fowler. It was obvious. Amorim needs to sort this out quick, because choosing to sack off the Premier League season early like this, it's so unprofessional. Manchester United picked up 2 points for the last 7 Premier League matches. Lads, ever since beating Manchester City before Christmas, they've only beaten 1 Premier League team who are going to be in the Premier League next season. Fulham in January. That's it. Those Manchester United season ticket holders only experienced 1 Old Trafford Amorim win against a team who's going to be in the Prem next season. And that was Everton, December the 1st. That's it. The other wins were against the relegated Rugrats. That's it. Oh, lads, it's times like this when I wish I was back at school. Because, lads, when I was a kid, a strange-looking Irish pumpkin, I was the only Newcastle fan in town. 80% of my school were Manchester United fans. Even the girls who didn't even like football, oh no, they all had Old Trafford pencil cases just because they had a crush on Ronaldo. Yeah, ain't nobody sending Valentine's Day cards to Peter Love and Crans. Being a Newcastle supporter in school, I might as well have spent the entire lunch hour sitting in the corner, chatting to a smiley face that scribbled on a banana. I might as well have been caught licking bird poo off the French teacher's car. I might as well have confessed to everyone that yes, I often stick chunks of broccoli up my nose. It was weird. Well, lads, Newcastle United are now just 2 wins away from a guaranteed 2nd place finish in the league, just months after lifting a trophy, whilst Manchester United might not yet reach 40 points. It's bonkers. This shouldn't be. It actually hurts my brain. I'm guessing those smug Manchester United supporters through my teenage years, I would imagine right now their brains probably feel like fried chicken nuggets. I wonder if they're now embarrassed to send their kids off to school with a Man United lunchbox. Honestly, lads, I'd imagine Irish schools now are just filled with Man City kids. There was only one when I was growing up, and he was as big of a weirdo as me, supporting Man City when they were getting whacked 8-1 at Middlesbrough. Yeah, people also looked at him as if he tried to have babies with a goldfish, as if he thought his real dad was the tiger off the Frosty's box. We were both seen as complete Looney Tunes when Newcastle United were relegated in 2009. The same week as my actual birthday, after my childhood favourite player scored an own goal. Oh yeah, Manchester United were preparing to try and win the treble. Oh, you can imagine me trudging into school that week was a real barrel of laughs. Even the science teacher was trying to banter me, and she was just some frail 60-year-old squirrel woman who definitely kept a chunk of her ex-husband's hair in her purse. Do you know how lucky you are that you were having such a woefully pick-six season, and yet you could still end up with a golden ticket to the Champions League? It's beyond nuts, and it doesn't seem fair. Yes, you're in the Europa League final. I should hope so. This Manchester United squad has had £1 billion pumped into it as they handpicked top talent from around the globe. Yeah, you are then handed a European semi-final with Athletic Bilbao, who get to handpick players who are born within a 10-mile radius of the ground. A club who are only allowed to use Basque boys. Their entire playing squad. Oh, all of their mums have probably been part of the same knitting club for the last 30 years. A couple of them even have the same dad. Half the squad's first kiss were probably with one of their teammates' sisters when they were 13. So of course you slap 7 goals past a club who are only allowed to sign their neighbours. I mean, can you imagine that Manchester United are only allowed to pick homegrown talent? You'd have Brandon Williams at left back, and Dwight McNeil on the wing with Ben Brereton Diaz on the bench. Jose Mourinho once said finishing 2nd in the league with Man United was one of his greatest accomplishments. Just 7 years later, you are probably going to finish 17th. It is disgusting. I like Amorim. I do. But he has to be doing better than this. Yeah, cut him some slack because these aren't his players and he needs a transfer window. But your job is also to get results for Manchester United now. If your formation does not suit these players, play a 4-3-3. I hate to say it, but Even an old expired slug like Rafa Benitez would be getting better results than Ruben Amorim. If this continues, I actually think that a 17th place finish in the Premier League is more of an embarrassing insult and a bigger rock bottom moment than losing 7-0 to Liverpool. Seriously, for Manchester United, this is sickeningly disgusting. I didn't think it was possible for a Premier League giant to be even more laughable than the Potter-Lampard-shaped Chelsea mess of 2023, but this Man United team is actually somehow worse. That Chelsea side finished 12th. Oh, these Man United fans will probably eat their childhood teddy bear to scrape 12th. I actually feel sorry for the Man United fans. Not Paul Clancy, though. Oh, wait, I shouldn't have said his name. Tottenham 0, Crystal Palace 2. Well, Tottenham are a disgrace too. I'm sorry, but there's never, ever been a more undeserving team to put forward for Champions League football ever. And I mean ever. It doesn't matter who wins the Europa League final. Neither Man United or Spurs deserve even the whiff of a Conference League burp. Never mind the cream of Europe's elite competition. This is now 7 defeats in 9 matches for Tottenham. This is so beyond grisly. I thought Postecoglou was going to be a terrific Spurs boss. Yeah, I'm at a stage now where I don't care if he wins a trophy. He has to go. So, but beating AZ Alkmaar, Eintracht Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt, and the worst ever Man United side known to man. Sure, that will pay off with a cute little medal, but it's not enough to save your job. And the worst part is this bloke continues to try and justify Tottenham's awful form, saying it's because they've reached the latter stages of 2 cup competitions. So? And, over the last 20 years, Spurs have been in European football 17 different seasons. It's who they are, mate. To now say that a European run will obviously culminate in a bottom 5 finish, that is a joke. Lads, Pochettino at Spurs reach a League Cup semi-final and a Champions League final. Sure, their league form suffered after Christmas, absolutely. Still finished 4th, mate. 4th, not 17th. I'm sorry, but both these clubs' fan bases deserve much, much more. But in more positive news, Crystal Palace are now just 1 point away from cracking 50 points. Everybody party! You don't understand. The last time Crystal Palace did not put up a Premier League points total in the 40s was when they were relegated in 2005. 20 years ago. 1992 was the last time Crystal Palace reached 50 plus points in a top flight season. And well, look what I said in August.
I actually think they will get 50 plus points. So, if they don't get a points total in the 50s, then I will pour 20 yogurts over my head and stand out in the sun.
Come on, Palace, you're nearly there. 1 point away. Don't you dare just play the kiddies now ahead of your FA Cup final. Don't you dare do a Portsmouth in 2008. Please, you've got Wolves and Liverpool next. Just take 1 point. 1 point from those 2 games. That's all I'm asking. Please. You're nearly there. You're so close. Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester 2. Play the clip.
1-1. Wood and El Canus. What? Forest are crumbling. Predicting Forest to crumble is one thing. I think they get 5th, but to actually think Leicester are getting a draw against them is a new level of trolling. Irish guy, I know you want us to bottle, but enough is enough. You have to actually be realistic. If Leicester get anything against us, I'll jump.
Months ago, I said, when it wasn't cool to say, that Nottingham Forest would crumble in their pursuit of Champions League football. And I was called a childish meatball with the brains of banana soup. Well, let's just look at the form guide now, shall we? Would you call that a bottle job run of form? Would you say that looks similar to when Newcastle bottled top 4 in 2012? 6 wins in a row and then 3 defeats from 4, including a 4-0 loss at Wigan. I knew Forest would slip because I've seen Newcastle do this before. The pressure can melt the brains of an underdog into sloppy toast, and now you can't even beat one of the worst teams in Premier League history at home. However, what I will say is that the Nottingham Forest owner, oh, he looks a scary man. This evil Hagrid looks like someone who would gladly crush his waiter's skull if he dared to serve him even a slightly pink steak. So look, it's very frightening for him to waddle onto the pitch and berate Nuno Santos at the full-time whistle. But that is nothing short of a disgrace. Forest are most people's tips to get relegated. He's got you Europe. And now you're whinging because it's not the elite European competition that you wanted? What, are you greedy? Oh, probably. He's definitely got the McDonald's menu sellotape to his armpits. Oh, I'm getting real sick of this. Southampton 0, Man City 0. Play the clip.
Pretty simple. You know what? I think Southampton will make a go of this game. They desperately need to chuck another point on the board. But, no, not here. I'm gonna go 3-1 Man City. And if they don't, if Man City do not leave this stadium with 3 points, then I will eat a bouquet of flowers.
Happy Mother's Day to me. By the way, I got 30 points for my predictions this week. As for Callum Fowler, oh, play the clip.
So this is probably why you've got me on here, so that I can finish last.
Yeah, you won't finish last. I don't think anybody's gonna save the Magpie channel from the dreaded drop. He's been there since before Christmas, so don't worry, Cal Fowl. You are not finishing bottom. If you do somehow manage to finish rock bottom dead last, then I will nail you my thumb in the post.
Yeah, you guessed it. He finished bottom. Literally bottom of the table with 20 awful points. Are you for real? The 1 week I promised my guest that if he finishes bottom, I will mail them my actual thumb. Oh, of course. Cal Fowl just has to squeak into last position. Oh, I'm guessing the Magpie channel is eating good right now, tucking into a celebratory bowl of Cocoa Pops, because, yeah, you're off the bottom spot. Because Callum Fowler has delivered a disaster class, and, well, I kind of like my thumb. Am I really gonna have to give you my thumb? Do you even want it? What are you gonna do with it? Keep it in a jar by your bed? I don't know what to do now. Tell me in the comments. Should I really give him my thumb? But look, well done, Southampton. You are no longer the historically joint worst Premier League side of all time. But don't you dare celebrate this. 12 points is still laughably grim. And if it weren't for Derby County being a complete joke shop 17 years ago, oh, they make no mistake about it, you would be the worst team ever. The fact you've got 3 points less than the horrific Sunderland side of 2005. Oh no, this absolutely makes this season an absolute burnt muffin of a campaign. Celebrating 12 points is not befitting of a club who just less than 10 years ago had 2 blokes in their starting 11 who would both go on to finish second at the Ballon d'Or. Newcastle 2, Chelsea 0. Newcastle United are 1 game away from finishing second. Second! Is this real life? If Newcastle United beat Arsenal for the 4th time this season, I'm sorry, seriously, that alone is nuts. Has a team ever beaten Arsenal 4 times in the same season? Ever before? Surely not. But if the Magpies do rock up at the Emirates and win again, yeah, they're second in the league. Seeing Newcastle United as high as that would be surreal. Lads, I remember when Sam Allardyce had Newcastle top of the league. Well, what do you mean you don't remember that? I do. I took a picture and put it on my fridge. It was on match day 1 of the 07-08 season after a 3-1 win at Bolton. Yeah, he was sacked 6 months later and the club were relegated the very next season. But that being top of the table was surreal to look at. But this, to finish a 38-game season, only second to Liverpool. I think I would stare at the table all summer. It would be jaw-droppingly surreal to see Newcastle that high in the league. But oh boy, was that an ugly second half. Eddie Howe has done an incredible job at this football club, but in that second half, it was like watching Steve Bruce football. 5 at the back. Newcastle got 1-0 up after 2 minutes through a bobbling Tonali strike. I thought they would kick on and win the game 3 or 4-0. No. Nicholas Jackson gets sent off, and that ruins the match. Because Newcastle then try to be like Sam Allardyce and just sit back in the back 5 and invite Chelsea to hug all the ball. And yes, it worked. It really did work because Newcastle got the win. But, oh lads, I really do not like 3 centre-backs for Newcastle. No. It stings of Amarin football, which guess what, Eddie? It ain't working. But look, I don't really care because Newcastle got the win and... lads, if they beat Arsenal, it's second in the table. It's so surreal. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. Who cares? Who cares about this match? I don't know why some Liverpool fans are so worked up about throwing away a 2-goal lead. You've literally won the Premier League. Who cares? Well, lads, this is what I said would happen during the match.
Plus, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold will start the match, and his presence alone will create a weird, divisive atmosphere amongst the fan base. It's gonna be a really weird afternoon, and yeah, 2-0 Arsenal.
No, Arsenal didn't win the game, but they nearly did. And Trent's introduction off the bench spoiled the whole game because the Liverpool crowd were then arguing with each other. Some booed, some didn't. Look, I don't know who's right. Yeah, on paper it seems a little weird to boo your own player, but he is about to storm out of your club in 2 weeks' time. He's actually wanting to play for Real Madrid next month. He doesn't want to finish this season at Anfield against Crystal Palace. Oh no, he wants his last match before the summer break to be lifting a Club World Cup trophy above his head. And not for Liverpool, for Real Madrid. That is what he is hoping for, and so yeah, it is a little weird. And I don't know, I can't put myself into the shoes of Liverpool fans. I don't know how I'd react. On one hand, he's completed football, and for that Barcelona corner kick alone, he should be held up as a Liverpool legend forever. But I don't know, right now, after he just said he's ditching you at just 26, yeah lads, honestly, I don't know. Fulham 1, Everton 3. This game means nothing. Both teams have pretty much completed their seasons. Yeah, this means that Fulham have kind of bottled Europe, but it's still a magnificent season for both. Ipswich 0, Brentford 1. Ipswich are rubbish. But I'm glad this means Brentford are going to finish top half. They deserve it. Bournemouth 0, Aston Villa 1. Bournemouth aren't getting Europe, are they? But Aston Villa, oh, they are right in the race. But one thing's for sure, they're definitely finishing above Nottingham Forest. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know what do you think. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know in the comments. What did you think? What did you think? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, ways. I'll talk to you in a while.